Eventually, I was sitting with a therapist one time, and he said, change is hard. He goes, Colin, you want to change. And most of your habits, the real you comes out. You can modify them, temper them, but people are what they are. You know, a kid that grows up talkative is going to be talkative. If you've had a temper your entire life, hard to shut it off at 42. Maybe cannabis helps, I don't know. But in the end, the real you comes out. That's why you have to call for references for jobs, like what's she like, what's he like, because people can fool you for 6 months. You know, you get into a relationship and it's flowers and movies, but the real you, the real them comes out. And you can suppress who you are for only so long. So 2 weeks ago, Oklahoma City was in the third spot, catbird seat in the West. Paul George was an MVP candidate. I said my MVP. And Westbrook was being an excellent teammate. He was passing and shooting less. Today, they've lost 4 straight. Now they're an 8th seed. Paul George is no longer an MVP candidate, and Westbrook shooting a lot. Oklahoma City was about ready to play a 7 seed, a 6 seed home court advantage. As of this morning, they will open with the Golden State Warriors and get swept. It should be noted in the West, Houston is on fire. They've won 12 of 14. Denver's won 4 straight. Clippers have won 8 of 9. San Antonio 9 of 10. And Utah's finally got their act together. It is a bad time to get cold. By the way, 5 of the next 10 games for Oklahoma City are tough. At Toronto, Denver, Houston at home, at Milwaukee. And Memphis is sneaky good lately at home. They could lose all 5 of those games. And here we go again. Westbrook, end of the year, is unraveling. Because he always unravels. Because you can only suppress what you are for so long. Has an off season, chills out in, Los Angeles, takes a deep breath, in a good mood, but the season and an injury and a losing streak. Westbrook, my friends, is a sprinter, and the NBA season is a marathon. And over time, he wears out teammates, he wears out his coach, he wears out the staff, he wears out the media, he wears out himself. 4 straight losses, 8th in the West, open with the Warriors. Paul George, not his factor. Westbrook shooting more, not quite the teammate he was even 3-4 weeks ago. At some point, all you Westbrook fans, you'll have to acknowledge, facts and stuff. It's happening like it has the last 2 years. He's unraveling at the end of the season. For the record, I totally supported him in Utah. That fan was a jerk, got thrown out, should have. Then a couple of days later, he's doing a near headbutt with Klay Thompson, gets him suspended for a game at home against a bad team, Miami. They lost and dropped to 8th. 4 of their next 10, they'll be underdogs. And the Memphis game on the road, Memphis is sneaky good lately at home. Sorry, but you can only suppress what you are for so long. There was a story a couple of days ago. I didn't really buy it. Not that I doubted the reporters, but I didn't think it would come to fruition. Doc Rivers, Clipper coach, going to the Lakers. Now, I'm not saying the reporters like Peter Vesey aren't great and didn't have legitimate sources. But what I said at the time was, it kind of feels like Doc's trying to get a raise or something, trying to get a contract extension. So I didn't buy the Doc Lakers story happening. I bought the story and the leak, but I didn't buy it was happening. The Clippers have a better owner. I think the Clippers have a better roster. I think right now they've got a better culture. I think with Jerry West, they have a better front office. I think Jerry's better than Magic in player personnel. Just my opinion. I got 40 years of Jerry to prove it. So I would not make the move if I'm Doc Rivers. I think the Lakers have a bigger brand. I don't think that's disputable. But the Giants have a bigger brand than the Jets, and for the next 10 years, because of Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell and the Jets, I think they're going to have more success than the New York Giants. But now this I'll say about Doc Rivers. I like Doc. I see Doc about 2-3 times a year. I like Doc a lot. Does Doc like money? Does Doc like leverage? Does Doc like power? Yeah, he does. When he came to the Clippers, he flushed some stuff out. Doc's got a strong worldview. And I like Doc a lot. But he likes his money. He likes his power. He likes his control. And I'm okay with that. He's earned the right. And he's good. He's having, I'd argue, the best year he's ever coached. The fact they're going to make the playoffs in the West when they traded Tobias Harris in the last 3 years, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, and they're going to make the playoffs. I felt my feeling on this, it was a little bit of a plant to get Doc an extension, which he wanted now. And by the way, in the last 48 hours, looks like they're going to take that option out of the contract and give Doc an extension, which is sort of what we predicted would happen on this story. I also don't think Doc and LeBron work. And I like both. But I like tuna fish and I like ice cream. I don't like them together. I like Doc and I like LeBron. But these are two strong-headed, smart, my way or highway guys. Doc's going to run a franchise the way he wants to run it. And he has a view of basketball, and and he's got titles, so he's earned that right. He's also a good player. And LeBron's earned the right to have a say in the room. Smart guy, bunch of titles, iconic brand, still great player, 28-8-8. But right now the Lakers have a lot of chefs in the kitchen. You got Kobe's got stuff he's doing, Pelinka and Magic and Genie and LeBron, and I don't think you could handle another chef. I don't think it would be a good fit for Doc. I think the Clippers is a perfect fit for Doc, where you have a great owner, a veteran eyes in West, a really nice roster who needs a star. They need a star. They've got space for two, and I think they're going to land one star. I don't think they're going to get Durant and Kawhi. I think they could get Kawhi or maybe a Jimmy Butler or somebody. But I never totally bought into this story. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.